We want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 187th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyron Silver from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the Violet Corresponder of Ace Blade, J Quick, and together we are your two award-winning Blur comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live via Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, so if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. Danny Jeremiah Quick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Kyron Jehoshaphat Silva.
My middle name does not start with a J. What the? What?
What does it start with?
I'm not telling you now.
Wait, I think I know your middle name. Hold on. I do. Gosh, I can't remember. It was on the mail, and I said it before on this show, and I can't remember. I'm gonna remember it though. Don't worry. Otis? It's not Otis. Kyron.
No one's coming to see you, Otis.
Kyron. Gosh, it's something. I'm gonna get it before the end of this show. Don't worry about it.
All right. Anyways,
have you read Feral?
No.
There's this book series called Feral by the same guy who did Stray Dogs. And because you're a cat lover, I thought you might like it. It's like a zombie apocalypse, but from the cat's perspective. And it's like rabies. If you get the feral cats have rabies, and they're scratching the other cats. And these house cats are now in the wild and they have to avoid. I heard it's pretty good. I read Stray Dogs.
Let's just bring our guest on because I'm tired. I'm too tired. Let's just bring the man on because I can't.
Gregory Burnham in the building. Comic book / children's books writer from Norcross, Georgia. Is that right?
That's where I live.
Okay. Along with Marcus Williams, he has created Tuskegee Airs. He is also a 2-time Glyph Award winner. Is that correct?
Yeah, probably.
He don't even know.
Awards. He don't even keep track no more.
Got so many awards, he don't even know. Welcome to the show, Greg. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Thank you. Did y'all say 187?
187. Yep.
Right. That's a good number. Shout out to Spice One there. It's probably also too old for Kyron. You should know.
Murder was the case. I think they said.
No, 187 proof, man.
We're shooting for episode 200 to be a live show in Dayton, Ohio, at 5 Star Comic Con. Yep. Dan and I will be there. So if you want to make your way out to Dayton, you can be part of the show.
Yeah, I was hit up about it. I believe I've already in negotiations to do something that weekend. So I'm trying to see if they're gonna, pay the monies and do all the stuffs.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I kind of had already I gave a verbal commitment, so I like to give people time to.
Yeah. All right,
verbal commitments. They don't really count. They don't really count. Danny goes behind on our verbal commitments all the time. Like,
oh yeah, I know.
It's different. That's different.
All right, we gotta get something out the way, Greg. Danny and I had this conversation before the show. We want to know your book. How do you say the name of it? Is Danny says it's Sadika? I said Sadika.
I said Sadika. No, I said Sadika. You said Sadika. I've been saying Sadika since I heard Greg say it. So if it's not Sadika, it's only because I misheard.
It's Sadika.
Thank you.
Thank you. I knew he was going to do that too. See, he talking about going back on commitments. If I had recorded it, I definitely would be able to play it back for you right now because he definitely said Sadika, and I corrected him saying no, I think it's Sadika. So, anyways, thanks for clearing that up, Greg. But thanks for coming to the show. For anybody,
thank you.
Anybody who may not be familiar with your work, give us a quick background on your 20 plus years in comics and what you're here to talk about.
So I'm a writer, I guess a publisher. I'm doing some editing, some cool stuff right now for people, just freelance. I write children's books. I'm working on my 4th children's book right now. So we have that. Here today, man, I guess just to talk about a little bit of everything. The search for Sadaka. I actually got a publishing deal with Rosarium. People pronounce it both ways. Rosarium Publishing. And so we're going to be doing the graphic novel, and it's going to be released, I think, on the 5th of May. And it's pretty cool. Right now it's available on Amazon. This is like my first, I've had like comics, whether I did with DC or Fair Square that got like comic book distribution, but this is my first book that's getting like full bookstore, like Barnes and Nobles, like everybody distribution. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
And then we're doing, I got a pre-order for Tuskegee Airs. We're not doing a Kickstarter. We're just putting it on the website and allowing people to come in and order their copies for issue 5 and a side book called Timelines. Timelines is fun because we're going to get to like kind of delve into more character stuff. We have a bunch of characters, so we haven't got to really show you guys like behind the scenes stuff. So we got one story with Gina, who's our mechanic. She's very popular. We've had a bunch of cosplayers. People love her design, everything. Mm-hmm. So we have a 6-page story with her that was done by Venus Bambisa and written by Marcus and myself. And then we have another story that's like back in time before like the Tuskegee years when Colonel Mars was younger. He's on a mission in Africa. It's a pretty cool story. And we got Peterson Oliveira, who's one of my milestone cohorts. Peterson did the pencils and inks on that one. So that's going to be a side book, a smaller book. And then we'll also have issue 5, which we are literally working on every night online during the week. So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start this because you detailed all these different series that you're working on, and that was one of the things I was gonna bring up is how do you juggle handling so many books, so many titles, keeping things organized, while you're working on 4 different things. Okay.
I don't know. So the cool thing with like the indie work is that it's kind of spaced out, so you can kind of work on it on your own time. Like I just, excuse me, I've been waiting for that. This pollen is crazy in Atlanta. But I just kind of locked down a potential artist for the next issue of Bridges. So it's kind of like, for me, having the script and having the stories close to ready to where the artists can, get in and do their thing. I'm also working on a couple of graphic novel scripts, some really pretty cool stuff for a publisher. I can't really talk about it, but some pretty cool stuff. I just turned one of them in, so now we hope that they don't need a whole bunch of edits. But so it's just like working, and the hard part is doing it and then still trying to make sure I'm, getting the money to take care of my daily life and whatever. Because a lot of times when you're dealing with publishers, they're going to pay you after. That's why I said, hopefully there's not a lot of edits because you'll get paid and it'll be a nice payment, but it's going to be, after you get done. So working in that angle, but it's just, trying to keep going And the cool thing is like getting like I was at a random thing in Alabama a few weeks ago, and somebody was like, "Man, I ordered the first Bridges. When's the second one gonna come out?" And so it's like, you get that from people like all over the place, to where it kind of helps you stay like feel like it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you how. So I know, um, you were talking about um, Exotica being the first, wide release indie book that you've done, but I know for a fact that you've been approached for other other indie projects that you've done for multiple things. So how do you um how do you decide, or are you pitching certain ones to certain people, or are you, keeping the others in the tuck for something else, or because I'm sure you could have gotten, distribution for one of your other properties before now if you wanted, but why did you decide to go with Sadaka first?
I think it's so I love Sadaka. It's like, I mean, I love everything that I do, but it's a extra personal type of thing for me. One of the things when you're making these comics, and they're not just for kids, they're all ages, they're appropriate for kids. But it's I sell them, people love them, but I just feel like I don't, with my resources right now, I don't know how much further I can take it. Where like if you're, like if like right now I have people, because they for like Barnes and Nobles, like all of them, the books are in these catalogs. So I got people reaching out, hey, you want to do a signing at my Barnes and Noble? You want to do So it's like just trying to get a bigger a bigger base of people, because like Tuskegee Years is like it went viral. It's There's a name and art recognition that catches you right there, but with Sadaka, it's like you got to actually kind of dig in to understand what all is happening with it. So I was like, if I could just get like a wider base, and the way like these contracts, pop out, like they're malleable, right? So it's like I didn't sell my IP. I didn't relinquish the rights to my IP. I'll just get a licensing a publisher, you know, for a certain amount of time to be able to publish the book. So that's always huge. I don't want to just like if I make something to give away, then I'm cool. But if I make something from my heart, it's like I don't want to give the rights away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've had this conversation a lot about IP and maintaining ownership, but there's only a few people that I've seen who've really gone through the process. And that's you, that's Stephanie Williams, that's Sebastian from Stranger Comics. Folks like y'all I've seen, well, other people have done it, but they haven't been as willing to share the behind the scenes of it. And I always appreciate y'all for that. Y'all are some of the folks that us indie folks, especially black indie folks, look up to. And I'm always thankful for you sharing the game, because there are valid reasons to keep some of that stuff to yourself. Why is it that you whether
No, I hear you.
not
I hear you.
not there are valid reasons that people could say, this is why I don't put this information out there, but I'm on the other side of it. So why is it that you lean towards, sharing the information rather than, keeping it to yourself so that you can use it for the most impact?
Cause like that's not like I was on a we were on Pink Riot last night, and we were talking. They were asking me like, what are the things that made me feel like I could, do comics. And I talk about something my grandmother did. She came home from work one day. I had gotten in trouble. I had to go live with it wasn't like law trouble. My parents was just like, you got to go. He sent me to Kansas City for a summer to stay with my
Living
grandma.
with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
No, it wasn't Bel Air, and it was my grandma.
He said Kansas City. That's nowhere near Bel Air.
And so we're up there, and she comes home from work one day, and she's like just beaming, and she hands me this comic book, and she's like, "I met the man that makes this. It's a black man. It's called Omega Man." I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "This ain't Marvel or DC, lady." But I'm seeing her, like, how excited she is, and so it's making me excited. And so then I go through and read it, and I finish. I'm like, "Wait, Grandma, are you telling me that black man, like, he did this on his own?" So because I want to go all the way into it, but that was like a big spark for me. But my grandmother was like, I thought about what my grandma did, which is crazy. She's at work. She don't care about comics. She knows that I do. And so she took time and broke bread with this young man, you know. And to me, that's what it's about. Like, we're coming in to this space, even today, with all the exposure and the cool stuff that we have going on. We still are like so down on the totem pole. You know what I mean? So what do I look like hoarding information? Look, what do I look like trying to, like, stay over here so I can get, the whole nickel and you can't get none of the nickel. Like, I just don't work that way. So I'm all about sharing. I'm all about supporting Black businesses. If there's information that I have that can prevent you from, falling into a pit, maybe it's something that we went through. Like, me and Marcus could sit and tell you guys probably for like 5 hours, sit and give you the horror stories of, like, stuff we had to learn on our own because nobody would share the information. So I don't want to be one of those people. Like, I didn't get into this to, for people to be like, "Oh, look at him, he's so cool." I want to tell stories, like, and I want to share my stories, and I always want to leave the building better than when I came into it. You know what I mean? Like, for everybody that's around, right? So, like, really cool kid at BlurredCon. I say kid, he's a grown man, but I'm old. And he's like showing me, and I already know he's a dope artist. And so he's showing me, he's like, "Look, Greg, I got, pages I'm starting to write on my book." And so I'm looking at it, and the art's dope, and he's telling me the concept, and my head is spinning. And, after he gets done, I said, "You doing this as a manga? Or you doing this as a comic?" And he was like, "I don't know yet." I was like, "You got to figure it out, and you got to figure out what size you're going to be doing it in, because that's going to be hugely important. And I don't want you to get all the way to you're ready to press print, and then realize you got to, like, serious formatting issues." So, like, share. And there's people that share stuff with me. David Walker shared stuff with me, and Stephen Harris shared stuff with me. Larry Stroman shared stuff with me, like, stuff that I utilize almost on a daily basis. So the OGs are taking their time to impart that information. Why can't I, do the same? Like, most of the people that are hoarding stuff, they're also probably doing, shady stuff. They might be telling you, like, there's, like, I was laughing because the option game that goes on, like, with Tuskegee, we had plenty of chances to be optioned. When we were actually pitching, we were, like, going in there like, we're not looking for an option because we already know what those are. They'll give you a little bit of money. Maybe one day they'll, do your show, but they could just shelf your show and then make something similar or do whatever they want. Like, so we're not, but there's people that ride the option wave, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we got a show coming," even though that option already expired.
Again, I think that's a thing, man. I think because Sebastian was the one who explained that to me. Like, early in when we were talking about making comics and trying to get into, TV and shows, and we hearing people get all these options and stuff like that. We're like, "Oh yeah, that would be great to get options. You get paid, and there's a chance you." But Sebastian really broke down, to me and a few other folks. He was like, "Hey, I've been through this, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. You can, he learned something." and in learning went ahead and passed that information on instead of trying to make it look like, oh, we got this and this and this coming, and we're big and bad because of that. Use that publicity, but at the same time pass that information on to other people.
Right.
And everybody doesn't do that. So again, I definitely want to thank you for being one of the ones to share that. And you inspired me. Like I build my platform on TikTok on sharing information about making comics and simple stuff like that, like lettering and the size of your art, who you can print with, all these kind of things are things that I talk about on my page, because I know that literally I started with no information and it took this long because I started literally just going to a comic book convention and saying, oh, I like this guy's art. How do I I don't even know how to write a comic book. You know what I'm saying? So just a little bit of help or a little bit of guidance can go a long way. So, yeah.
And we're like, we do the panels. We do a lot of like workshops and going to schools out here. And we just like constantly, we tell the story about our first comic that we made, Marcus and I,
struggling artists,
like 25 years ago, and how we made the comic, and it was like everybody wanted it, and we were selling them, and we were losing money because we were printing them at Kinko's, and so it was costing us like $10 with all the paper and stuff to print a single issue. And we could sell it for 10 out the trunk, but like in the comic shop we were working at, they was like, yeah, we can sell it for 4. But it was cool because it's like, okay, we created something just sitting in my house. We created something that was dope. People love it. They want more of it. So we got that part down. But we're going to fail miserably if we keep printing this book up like this. So it's like halt all operations and then go learn the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even when you're learning the business, you're gonna have some hiccups, some pitfalls. But it's like that helped us monumentally. So when Tusky Years pops up, people are going crazy about it. It's like, okay, we feel confident. We already know how to do this. We knew where we could get the books printed for cheap, like high quality books printed for cheap. We knew that. We knew we could reach out and email them. You know what I mean? So it really helped.
Now you have a new book that just came out, Bridges, right?
Yeah, it's been out for about a year, but it's something I want to talk about because we're getting ready to start on the second issue, and it's another a lot of the stuff I do is like empowering. I definitely want kids and adults to read it and feel like, ooh, this person looks like me. So it's the 4 superpowered teenage girls protecting the city of Oakland, and it's a fun book. We're starting to make like some really good traction in California and places, but I keep having people yelling like, dude, this is great. This needs to be animated. This needs to be live action. And so I got to start doing a better job of like promoting it. I know a lot of times, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it too, people don't really get super excited until there's like at least two of them.
Yeah.
So we're working on the second one right now.
I noticed when I was reading the book is that you're doing a little bit of like the what Milestone used to do with the skin tone color. How even though they're black, you have different variations of that, which I thought was really cool. A lot of artists aren't taking that time to really put that into their books nowadays.
Oh man, I am a stickler. like Marcus used to hate me because I'd be like, when we did our first book, Starving Artist, there's a character, a dark brown skinned girl. And so I was like, I want a black girl. Now we're young, and Marcus is coming out of art school, like high school and all of that. And back then, like people would literally tell you like dark skin doesn't look good printed on paper,
Yeah.
And I'm like, but this is digital, man. We got a chance. And he's like, I don't know. So he keeps like coloring her, and I'm like, blacker. And then he goes, I'm like, blacker.
Gray's like, blacker. darker.
And this is when like we were first getting Photoshop and stuff, but you can even still look today. It actually looks good, and so I've always been about that. Like I want to explore skin tones. We did it even with Tuskegee. I want to explore skin tones. I let colorists know like, nah, this person, like, you know, this person, because you know a lot of times people just find one brown and roll with it. So that's just something important. I feel like it's not even like it's just an authentic thing, right? Like you get people of all different skin tones. If you look at my family, like you'll see every freaking you know color on the spectrum. You know, my sister somehow she turned out like super duper light. You know what I mean? Like we still love her.
I got questions, all right.
But now it's you know it's like you know I just felt like I feel like that's huge, and we do like it's great when people notice. Thank you for noticing, because it's something that we really, really, really care about.
The other thing I noticed about Bridge is that it's located in Oakland.
Yes.
Now, correct me, but I don't remember looking at your biography anything about any residency in Oakland, Bay Area. I know you got California love and all that, but
yeah.
So what is it with Oakland? You said I want to make a book in that area.
So honestly, my friend Jamie Rochelle, who actually did the pencils and inks on the book, it was during the Panini. You know, dudes. You know, I'm just sitting around playing Final Fantasy all day, and he hits me up and he's like, "Hey man, how much would you charge to write a comic?" And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, let's talk. So we get on the phone. Jamie's from Oakland. And he's got a friend, Leo Stevens, who is like a producer for the book. And the person that, you know, basically, you know, set this whole thing in motion. So they're both from Oakland. And that's how it started is Leo wanted to do a comic book in Oakland with like girl superheroes. And so I talked to them. I was like, what y'all got? And they was like, well, we just want to have like a girl superhero book. I'm like, and you guys know because you make comics. So, you know, it's like you start seeing all the stuff that has to happen. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, listen. It'll probably be easier if we just partner because we're going to have to build a story. We're going to have to come up with a whole thing. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we just formed a team. We started meeting and just working, and it did take some time. That was Jamie's like first comic that he ever drew. He's a good artist. I mean, and he keeps getting better and better.
You said that's the first book he drew?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you can even see it in the pages in the book from page 1 to the end. You could see him stepping up on the
just getting better as he went. The funny thing about Jamie, we met him at OnyxCon in 2016, I think, or 2017. It was like right after our Kickstarter was over. I don't even know if our Kickstarter was over for Tuskegee Airs. And he came to the table. We just met and everything. And then, you know, he like come to the shows and stuff or come to stuff we were at. And we just ended up like being cool, you know. So, and I just watched his art just like constantly. Like if you see the stuff, he's got a football sports thing that he's doing. I want to say it's Just Ballin' with Jay on Instagram, and he's doing like some really dope stuff with that. So I'm gonna see if I can find the link. But yeah, so they're from Oakland, and it was like, boom, let's go.
Okay.
I got off the main subject. There's a character that's in your story, Mr. Junior. I feel like if I put on a little muscle when the movie gets made, I can play this guy. He looks like just like he got a little more muscle than me, but he kind of got my head shape, and I might need to grow a little beard out. But so I'm just gonna ask you right now, can I get that part?
You know what? I'll talk to my people, and
that's that Hollywood talk.
No.
Have your people. I'm gonna have my people call your people.
Right. So yeah, And that character is based off of Leo. So the only reason, so I think there's that spot where Jada calls him Mr. Leo because she's in trouble. But yeah, so Leo, we actually put him in the book. His daughter, Kayla, that character is based off his daughter because that's how it started. So I was like, we putting you in the book. He's like, I don't know, I don't want to be in the book. I'm like, I don't care what you want.
Hey, I like it. I
You're
like
gonna
it.
be in the book. And so yeah, he's a cool cat, man. We actually were up in Oakland last April, and we actually did a signing at Cape and Cow, which was
I love Cape and Cow. That's a dope show. That's
such a dope shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so looking to get back there, try to like take over the world up there in a good way.
I mean, you can't do worse than what it already is. So go ahead.
Terrible. Before we go to the quick takes, you mentioned earlier you and Marcus have been going live, almost nightly doing Tuskegee Air's issue 5. A lot of people
be on right now, and I'm gonna be joining him as soon as I leave here. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You said a lot of people.
No, a lot of people are super protective of like the creation process. A lot of people think that I don't want to spoil the story and these things like that. I'm of a different mind state. I think that there's a lot of different. I think
he doesn't hate spoilers. I never would have thought.
I believe that in order to in order to get people invested in these stories, we got to talk about them. But y'all have taken it one step further. You're showing the literal creation. He's drawing the actual pages of the comic online live. So if somebody was paying enough attention, they could go ahead and piece together the story if they want to.
Yeah. And we're talking. So the fun thing is the way we're doing this. This is how Marcus and I create most of the time. It's like we'll have an outline. We know what's going to happen on each page. But even like if you were on last night or the last couple of nights, you would see we've like figured out some solutions to certain things, to make it fluid. Yeah, he's on there right now. And probably
tell him to come join us.
And probably talking trash about me.
Yep. Send him the link. Tell him to come join us. He can draw online.
No, he's gonna stay there.
It'll be balanced, trust me. It'll be
but yeah, it's like our thing is, it's been a while since we've done a book. People are yelling at us and throwing rocks at us, and so it's like, hey, y'all. There's been.
I feel like it would be.
But then something happens. So what we're doing now is like
you got used to this week.
Like here, y'all, we're really doing this, and it's cool. It's actually just like our tables exponentially become like a hangout spot.
Oh, that sounds
we talk about all kinds of stuff.
I agree with that. Look,
can you tell us what's happening in this image that he's drawn right now? Since he's sharing it, you can tell us.
So this is page 16, and Slip, the kid that wields the big hammer. He's basically standing outside.
You can't be biased,
fighting, kind of like holding down the fort. We had
time to go fast. That's what
I don't know if you want to call it a recon mission, but Omar and Genesis have broken into a facility.
What y'all?
They're trying
to. Y'all all right?
They're trying to. He's getting my nerves when he's talking. They're trying to.
Exactly. See, that's being biased. You gotta.
They're on their way out. The alarm's been triggered.
Help me out.
So Slip is like holding down the exit so they can get there and all get back to their jet.
It could be because time and age.
Okay, man. Like I said, man, I think that's a dope idea. And like Fish Lee said in the comments, man, people aren't gonna remember by the time the book comes out. But also,
there'll be somebody that'll remember something.
If they do remember, they're already decided that they're gonna buy the book. You know what I'm saying? I think
a lot of the people that are there every night, they've already pre-ordered. Because like I said, it's on the website. I know you pre-ordered.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and I guess the coolest thing is we sell like a lot of books, and we sell them. I'm not saying that in a bragging kind of way. I'm just saying there's going to be so many people that that don't even know we're going live. You know, so
but that's a new audience, man. I think every time I've been telling Kyron and Morgan, every time I go live on whatever platform, on TikTok mostly, you know, I either get sales or I meet somebody who's never heard of Ace Blade before, you know. So I think that they're, especially in this age of social media, going live and being there and interacting with people while you're making something is an amazing way to capture that audience, like you said. And there's Knights of G on TikTok. She talks about marketing comics, and one thing she always harps on is warm leads or something like that. I think she calls it, like people who are ready to buy your book when you announce it. And that's a great way. I think that's a great way to get, you know, those people who are ready to pay for your thing as soon as you make it available to them. So man, y'all, I hope y'all keep doing that. And you know,
I would like to, like, if this is going well. So my main thing is making sure it's worth Marcus's time, because people be throwing a lot of money at him to do stuff, like sometimes ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, like, you don't need all that money, but
excuse me, we.
so it's like, I just want, like, if it continues to be worth his time, then we might be able to, you know, as soon as we press print on, you know, issue 5, we can just like go right back into the next issue.
That's right.
That'd be awesome.
That's hope, being extremely hopeful though.
I do want to announce this, that since I'm feeling better, next week I'm going to start doing live streams of me inking issue 3 of Ballad of the Black Rose.
Nice. Yeah, do it. Let's start it. Like, get a whole motion going. Because, again, like, yeah, people might see, you know, some of the stuff, but what we've seen, like, from, like, workshops we do, there's one time I had to make Javon take Marcus's place in Connecticut, I think, because Marcus wasn't able to make the show. And we had to do a workshop for kids. So I was like, yep, you got to draw today. And, you know, he did, you know, but it's like doing that kind of stuff. So there's levels to it, right? Like, we're not just in it just to make money. We always, like, I kind of operate.
It's always the writers that say that. We're not in it to make money. Artists are like, I'm in it to make the money, damn it.
No, I like to make money.
Well, that's because y'all, never mind.
But if we wanted to make money, we could make different kind of content that would guarantee that we make more money. Right.
For sure.
So, like, one of our biggest things, and it's something that I operate with, even when I was a basketball coach, I did this. I had one parent, I was like, your son's gonna be on my AU team. She's like, well, I don't really, you know, have it right now. I said, I didn't ask you for anything. I'll pay his fees. I'll do all of that. Well, I can't pick him up. I mean, I can't take him to practice because I got these multiple jobs. I was like, I didn't ask you for any of that. I'll pick him up, you know. And this isn't me overreaching. This, like, I was coaching this kid since he was like 6, you know. So it's like a family thing. But I knew I wanted him to not be sitting around the house because a lot of his friends were getting in trouble at that point. And so I took him, snatched him. I had him with me. And she would ask me, she's like, why are you doing this? And I was like, because I wish somebody would have dared to do it for me. You know, that kid, he was hurt last year, but the year before, he played like 4 games in the NFL. And he got injured. So hopefully he gets another shot. But even that was like one of my most proudest things, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a really good kid. So it's the same with comics. It's like every time, like, we've been in it long enough now to where somebody that was a kid, you know, 10 years ago is now sitting at a table, you know, selling comics. And, like, you know, and they'll say, like, when I went to Black Comics Day in Oakland, I mean, not Oakland, but San Diego. I had so many people that were like, dude, you and Marcus are the ones that inspired me to get into this. And that's a beautiful thing. So that's what we just want this to be normal, you know, where it's a whole bunch of us and we're making quality stuff and we exemplify our true stories.
Bet. If y'all would have let me in the milestone initiative, I could have been there right there with you. But we'll
What
talk
you
about that
talking
later.
about? Let
All right.
I ain't
Seriously.
I'm still mad about it, but I'm not mad about it. Let's go ahead and do quick takes.
Quick takes.
All right, Greg. I know you've seen the show before, but quick takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the
Greg,
internet.
you've been on our show before, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. This is like the second or third time.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask you 5 questions. We're gonna give you 45 seconds each to answer them, and these the questions are just designed for our audience to get to know you a little bit better. So, question number 1, Gregory, you've probably seen more movies than anybody that I know. You go to the movies so much that I'm starting to think is a little unhealthy. So in 45 seconds, I want you to justify your movie obsession.
Movie obsession. So the theater is my happy place. I'll go into like how like when my kids and my kids' mom and me, when we split up, I would have the kids, and a lot of times I didn't have a lot of money in the beginning, so on weekends we would go to the movies. But it's my happy place. It's a place where I can turn my brain off most of the time. I can put my phone down and I can just watch and focus. Sometimes eat popcorn, go at the right times. You're in there by yourself. So if you gotta fart a little bit, you can, you just do whatever. Yeah. So it's a happy place. And I guess I would be called a cinephile, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. That's justified. All right. Question number 2. You're one of the people, like I said, you and Stephanie also, who have done a lot of pro work and a lot of indie work. So you got a great taste and experience in both areas. So for the indie people who are in our audience, what is something from your pro work that you would think more people should apply to their indie work?
Ask questions. When we're doing our own stuff, we're doing our own stuff, right? So like I had an issue with the script just yesterday where I'm like, hey, should I put these reference photos in the script? I feel like that would be clunky. Can you tell me? I've never done this type of project. So can you tell me, what you think is best? And he was like, no, just create a folder. And then, once the script is approved, then you can just go drop in and say panel, page, blah, 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 panel, blah, blah, blah. This is the reference. So little stuff like that. I should have turned that script in like a week ago. But I was like, my brain was like, what do I do? What do I do? Instead of just asking. So sometimes just ask what they need or what they want. And it can save you a lot of trouble.
Oh, dope. All right. Question number 3. Like you said earlier, you've coached both football and basketball.
Baseball and basketball.
Oh, baseball and basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I, we've had conversations about basketball probably more than anything else other than comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know your experience as a basketball coach. What are some of the basketball values that you think are best suited for comics work?
So I have a theory that how you play basketball tells me a lot about the person you are, but that's beside the point.
Well, you're just not good at basketball, though.
Huh? It doesn't matter. You don't have to be good at it, but I can still see what kind of person you are. Like if you duck and you run and hide, if you like afraid of smoke, like if you have like delusional belief in yourself, like I can see how that's.
Call me Minnie Curry. I want you saying.
But to answer the question, I think like work ethic is similar. The chess part of the game is always the thing that I love the most about basketball and baseball. And so it's the same with comics. It's like constantly trying to figure out different ways. Like when you work on a 100-something page graphic novel, at a certain point you get exhausted of like trying to figure out what should be happening in this panel, you know. So it's like the chess game that gets played is the best part to me. They're both very like it's super cerebral if you want to be good at either one of those.
For sure. Okay, question number 4. And I already know the answer to this question because of the way you answered it earlier. But you only get to. This is the situation. You get paid for the rest of your life to write either Icon or Sadaka. Which one do you choose to write and why?
Thank you for saying the name right, by the way.
Oh, Sadaka. Sadaka, because she's mine. I love Icon. I had a great experience writing that 8-page story that I wish they would let me do more with. But Sadaka would be the one because it's like it's taken a while, but like where that story's going, I think it's just going to be like a drop the mic moment. And it just always feels better when you're writing you just feel better when you're writing your own created character versus, a character somebody else created.
That's valid. That's valid. And like I said, man, that Icon story that you did is still one of my favorite Icon stories. So you and Stephanie wrote a Rocket story that I thought was really good too. So I wish that they would. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that. Question 5.
I would too.
Question number 5. We always end with a top 5 list in honor of the maybe soon to come back top 5 live show.
Greg, have you ever heard of Top 5 Live? He keeps talking about it.
I think I heard about it, man.
Oh, okay.
The maybe soon to come back top 5 live. So this week I'm going to get you to do top 5 Black IP to develop. Now this could be indie or mainstream. If the question is basically this: if there were 5 Black,
his face right now is
there are 5 Black IP that you believe could maintain, because there's all this talk about DC not having a Black main story for all so long or whatever. If there are 5 Black IP that could maintain an audience for the foreseeable future, which 5 would you pick to develop?
See,
he needs a whole essay right now.
And then the question took 3 minutes and the answer is supposed to take 45 seconds.
45 seconds, that's it.
Think about that. So that means I gotta go like low hanging fruit. Like I would love to do some Miles Morales. So I put him on there. We talking about, did you say, because you said a lot of stuff. Are you mean indie only?
This can be mainstream, indie, whatever.
Okay. So besides all my stuff, I would say, I would love to do some more Icon, Static. I love Joe Mullen, but I don't know. I love Joe Mullen, so that would be one. I guess I gotta say Storm.
Storm.
I don't have.
He said like I heard him to say it or something.
No, it didn't hurt, but I'm not gonna say Storm because I don't. Like I love Storm, but I don't need her. Who else, man? I don't know.
Don't tell Malachi that, please.
No. I'll never tell Malachi. He doesn't play about Storm. I used to want Storm, but anyways, I did a Mr. Terrific story. I wouldn't mind, doing some more of Mr. Terrific.
They fumbled Mr. Terrific so bad, man. I don't understand why they, because the story, again, I don't know how they fumbled Mr. Terrific coming out of that Superman movie, and he already had a story going.
But the story Al Letson did was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. But we'll talk about that offline. What they do, Mr. Terrific.
That's what I'm saying. Like the story was good, so why is there not more Mr. Terrific right now? Like,
dude,
maybe tie in something.
That whole thing that was going on where. They talk about so much. So I put up a post and some people were like mad at me or whatever. And I'll just say this is not answering the question now. But the 2024 DC Power that we did got nominated for a Ringo Award last year.
Yep.
We was nominated, like we were in the finalists, all that kind of stuff. You like from the time that book was released, it had Dennis Cowan, it had Alita Martinez, and nobody talked about it. And somehow the people that were on the, doing the Ringo Awards thought enough of it to nominate it for Anthology of the Year. Mm-hmm. Nobody talked about it. That DC Power Company that they put out last year, I'm competitive, whatever, but I feel like that was better than our DC Power. And nobody talked about it. And the only reason they talked about this milestone release is because, that stuff came out about pages being leaked and blah, blah, blah. And they created a big storm. But other than that, they wouldn't have talked about it. They didn't talk about the milestone initiative. DC put that book out. It was $3.99. $3.99.
Bro,
people ain't talking about it.
You preaching to the choir because even though I was mad at y'all, I still talked my head off about the milestone initiative, even though I was upset.
But I know you do. but we need more. Like, it's like we only want to focus. Like, they only want to focus on stuff if it's controversial.
Yeah.
Like it's
clicks.
It's interesting because I've been in different situations, but I watch how people talk about the people that run DC, and I've been able to sit in the big office with Jim Lee and Marie Javins, and these people, they're not Darth Vader and the Emperor trying to decide the fate of the world. You know what I'm saying? They're nice people who are trying to figure out how to keep comics alive, because comic business is not the most lucrative business at all.
Right.
So it's like we gotta, just like if I want Ace Blade, if I want Ace Blade 20, I need to support Ace Blade 10. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Like, we gotta support and we gotta be part of that movement, because if you're not making I don't even want to talk about that. I've got really good compliments on the 3 stories that I've written, you know what I mean, for DC, from people inside of DC. They seem to think it's cool, whatever. But it's like people ain't talking about it. They might talk to me about it or whatever. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm just saying overall, we have to support and we got to be like the change that we want. We can't just sit back and be like,
I agree.
And if you don't like it, that's cool. There's a whole lot of stuff I don't like. But do you see me going online trashing it?
Hey, I'm with you.
I'm not going to,
I will say that I think that the best thing that came out of, not the best thing that came out of the whole Dakota incident thing, but one of the things that I've seen that I like the most is that more people decided that they're going to talk about Black comics. There's people who have started their platforms based on that controversy happened, cool, whatever. But there are people who I know now have decided, hey, I'm going to talk about Black comics and I'm going to do it on a regular basis, because every industry needs marketing. Every industry needs people to talk about those things, and it can't just be Blurt Without Fear and BJ Kicks. It can't just be those 2 people. So it's good that people are now deciding that they want to talk about these things, and I hope it shows in the future. So again, man, thank you for doing Quick Takes. This week's Quick Takes was brought to you by 5 Star Comic-Con. It is 85 days away on June 20th and 21st, 2026 in Dayton, Ohio at the Dayton Convention Center. Me and Kyra are going to be there.
Why are you raising your hand like you're in school?
Because I need to address a comment that Fish Lee said. Talking about I'm paying $10 to fart in the dark. Actually, sir, I am an AMC A-list member. I pay about $27 to see 24 movies a month. So watch it. It's, definitely a lot less than $10.
$1.12.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That's a good
per movie. I need to get on that too, though. But I got too many kids, man. I got 4 kids, and I think there's an exponential amount to add people.
No, it's so fun to go to the movies by yourself. It's so inexpensive.
But anyway,
and here's another comment I gotta ingest. he said, so if I suck at basketball, I suck as a person. That's not what I mean. I didn't say how good you are is like will let me know what kind of person you are. It's how you go about playing. So quick story. We used to go to the run and shoot. We were hoopers in Atlanta, and we would go late at night, like on Fridays, because that's where you get like the best games. And we was doing some art stuff, and everybody came to my house so we could ride in one car. And Marcus was there, and he was like, "Where y'all going?" And I was like, "Oh, we about to go hoop." And he was like, "Can I roll?" And we like, "Can you hoop?" And he was like, "I mean, I don't know." We're like, "Okay." So we brought him, and he went out there, and I'm not gonna say he was great or anything, but he played hard. You know, he had effort. He played with a smile on his face. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't worried about, messing up. Like we were hoopers. You know, he just went out there and it was like, okay, he can roll with us. You know, like we can work with him. So that's what I mean. It doesn't mean you have to be good at playing. It's just like, how do you play? Like if you like see a big dude and you're like, let me get out of here, then that's the kind of person you are.
Hey, I like it. We're gonna do a video and expound on that because I like that theory. I like that theory. All right, Kyron, back to you.
All right, Greg. It's always great to have you on. Even though Danny don't remember you being on the show before, but it's always great to have you on.
I did remember him being on the show. That's how I introduced the That's how I introduced the segment every time. Let me do my thing.
Anyways, we want to make sure that people follow you since you didn't put, your tag on there, and you're not leader of the new school or anything. Where can our people online follow you?
You can go to Instagram right there, Greg_Burnham7. So you go there, and that's a good place to follow me. I think it's also that on TikTok, and I post like once every few months on TikTok, so it's definitely worth it for you.
There we go.
Once every few months is not. That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, Danny, what about you? Where can people keep up with your work?
Best place to find me is our website, fourthwallpros.com. We are launching Ace Blade number 10 and the Omnibus on April 28th. So definitely check us out on Kickstarter. And also you can find me at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you, sir?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com. I'm on all social media platforms at Taurus Comics, where I'm like Greg. I post about once every couple months or so. So follow me there if you want to. But if this is if this is your first time checking our podcast, though, you can go to our website, fourtailspodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast. You can listen to our previous episode, buy merchandise, support us that way. Join us though next week where we are going to have Arnasia Wimberly. We're going to talk about her book Sagia and see what that's all about.
Can we get like some exit music? Can we get 187 proof by Spice One?
Yeah. Like, we're trying to get monetized. No, we cannot. But anyways, sayonara, goodbye, and everybody, please take care of yourself.
Thank you guys, man.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.